Okay, Bill, please now come up. At this point.
Thank you, Liz. Got to put on the hat, nobody would recognize me. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the Division A contest. We have six excited, noble, courageous, and somewhat foolhardy Toastmasters who are going to be up here and compete for the opportunity to go on to the district stage. Way cool. So, how many people are excited? Yeah. Are we ready for this? Yeah. When I first moved to the Commonwealth in 2003, I started substituting in the Somerville School District. And, well, how many people have ever had a substitute teacher in class? And were you nice to your substitute teachers? It's not the easiest way to make $75 a day. But it is a fulfilling way. I had a class, a 7th grade class, a while ago, and it was the worst class in the school. All the kids who were too wild, rambunctious, or irritating to be in any other classes, they put in this class. I was called in, I had 15 kids, a TA, and I needed him. The entire day was one long battle for control of their attention. I would get the front of the class started on something, and an argument would break out in the back of the class, and I'd run back, and then I'd be back to... That is the life of the substitute teacher. As you know me, you can probably imagine I'm not the most sympathetic of teachers. When I'm in that classroom, those kids are going to work. My theory of teaching 7th grade is that I can be more obnoxious than they can. It's kind of rough, but it works. And so I will cajole, I will insist, I will stand over their desk and tell them, right, I want you to write, keep working, keep working, keep working. And then I'll tell a lot of really stupid jokes, which confuses them. Because it's really hard to be rebellious when you're busy laughing. So we struggled for that day. I had lunch duty that afternoon, and I was out on the recess ground watching the kids run around and do the things that kids do. And I was sent with a couple of the other teachers. And one of the teachers, ever so sweetly, turned to me and said, Bill, how are Mrs. Adams' students being for you? And I had this sudden epiphany. And I looked at her, and my brain went, Mrs. Adams' kids? Those aren't Mrs. Adams' kids. Yesterday they were Mrs. Adams' kids. Tomorrow they will be Mrs. Adams' kids again. But today, those are my kids. Mine. I didn't actually say that. But I felt it. And what I came away with an acute awareness is that as teachers, we don't get to choose our students. We go into the classroom and we get the kids who are there. And it is our responsibility to do our absolute best for those kids, no matter whether they're irritating, obnoxious, or downright ornery. They are our kids. I had that responsibility, and they were mine. I felt that strongly. The same thing is true for most of life. We don't get to choose who we work with. I did not get to choose my lieutenant governors, my division governors. They didn't get to choose the area governors. The area governors don't get to choose the club presidents, and the club presidents don't get to choose the members. All of us are responsible for doing our utmost to do the best job we can for the people that we are working with, whether we necessarily enjoy it or not. And when we do that, great things happen. There are people in the world who will always find a reason why things didn't work out for them. Their boss didn't like them, the other people in the office didn't share information with them, people they work with are a bunch of bums, and they build up myriad excuses for their failures. And then there are other people who see exactly the same problems, and they just deal with them. The boss doesn't like them, too bad, they continue to do their best job. Nobody told them the information, they do their best to find out the information on their own. Sometimes they fail. But when they do, they dust themselves off, get back up, and keep going right back into that fray. Sometimes that fray is a Herculean battle of wills with the 7th grade class. Other times it's simply getting to a meeting when you're too tired, too sleepy, or just too busy. Do it anyway. Every one of our speakers today had a reason not to be here. Any one of them could say that, I can't come, I can't do this speech because, and they could have had a dozen reasons, but they didn't. They're here instead. And that is what's really important. They're here doing it, making things real, and they are ready to rumble. Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready to rumble? Yeah. All right. Now let me hear some noise. I want to hear it. TMI. 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 All right. That's Toastmasters International, madam. TMI. It's been a long time since you were district governor. Oh, and that 7th grade class, I got a call from the school the next week. Would I come back and substitute for them again? Mrs. Adams specifically requested me because the children liked me so much. I spent an entire day torturing these kids, and they liked me. Smart kids. Madam Division Governor,